Good afternoon and welcome to this month's edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Sophie Peterson.
And I'm Jack Kalman. Up first, we go to Anaya, who tells us about the retirement of a very well-known figure in the Blue Valley District.
The Blue Valley School District is nationally recognized for its many accolades. The woman behind its recent success, Superintendent Dr. Tanya Merrigan, has put in a lot of hard work to bring the district to this position and is now preparing it for her recently announced retirement.
Oh, it was a really hard, emotional decision for me to make to leave Blue Valley because I love the entire district. I love the community that I live in. But I was at a point in my career where things in the district are going really well. I felt like we had really moved in a positive direction, and I felt like it was time for somebody else to be able to come in and take this over.
Dr. Merrigan has been a part of the Blue Valley School District for 26 years. After spending time as a math teacher, she joined Blue Valley High School as a counselor before taking positions as an administrator prior to working at district office. Those who worked with Merrigan are able to recognize the care she has for the district as a whole.
Dr. Merrigan and I worked together in a variety of jobs over the years. It's a special treat to get to work with somebody like Dr. Merrigan. She has such a pulse on all things that deal with education, the voice of the teachers, the understanding of the kids.
Dr. Merrigan's been in the school district for over 20 years, and I've been in the school district for over 30 years. And so our paths have crossed in her roles once she became a member of district office. Dr. Merrigan has, first of all, such an amazing presence. She has this really calm authority that I wish I could emulate. Her ability to navigate a room and to take people's input and to make people feel heard is unbelievable.
Merrigan is proud of the community she was able to help build within Blue Valley.
Without a doubt, what I am most proud of in this district is the people that we've been able to hire. I've been able to hire really great administrators, and they in turn have been able to hire really great teachers and support staff. The people that we've hired are all about students, and that's why we're here. That's our job, is to support the 23,000 students we have in this district, and I think that our staff do that better than anybody else.
Similar to the staff she has hired, Merrigan has been very supportive of all programs within schools. This has allowed her to provide support and understand those who have worked with her.
I think the biggest way that she brought that energy was just to be present. You would turn around and she'd be on the sidelines at a game, or she would be at a play or musical, or she would just want to come drop by the school and walk around in the classrooms and see what was going on. Superintendents are so busy to be able to find that time to get into the buildings and to really see what's happening in your organization was just a special characteristic that she had.
My other superintendents that I've known, I don't know that they could talk to me about each of the roles they've been in the same way that she's been able to. The fact that she could relate and big picture is so unique and will be missed.
Merrigan has high hopes for the Blue Valley School District after her departure.
This is a premier, amazing district, and there will be amazing people who want to come and to take this journey and to take Blue Valley even further than it is right now. I take great pride in all of the jobs I've had in Blue Valley. Somebody once told me that it is our job to leave a place better than we found it. And I sincerely hope that when I leave Blue Valley, it is better than when I started.
Merrigan will finish out this school year on July 1st. Until then, she will continue to try and make the Blue Valley School District as successful as possible. This is Anaya Zaman for Husky Headlines.
I met with Northwest students who are helping to spread holiday cheer to others.
The cold winter months bring all sorts of surprises. Although the holidays are a time of joy for many, there are others who are less fortunate. From sending letters to brighten someone's day to providing support to those in need, all forms of community service are greatly appreciated during tough times. This holiday season, countless Huskies are finding ways to give back to their community. The members of Letters of Love get together once a month to make sure people feel seen during the holidays.
Just in my own experience, I know I would love to get a card, even if I don't know who it's from. I think just being noticed and receiving something like that can always brighten someone's day and hopefully their life. I feel like everyone just thinks of, not in a bad way, but everyone thinks of their own family and their own friends, and of course be grateful for them and care for them. But there are some people out there who don't, or who have less support than others. So I think receiving these cards from students who are thinking of you and are planning to give you these cards can help someone.
Alongside letters of love, the K Club makes sure the community knows they have the support they need. Through their efforts, they have helped better the lives of many.
This year we're doing something called Luminary Walk, which is an event for Christmas where they hang up a bunch of lights and kids can walk around so students can volunteer at certain events. The community feels great, you know, they're very appreciative of K Club. They're always there to help out for people who need it, and they know they can rely on us and contact us because we have a lot of members that can do whatever volunteering needs to be done.
Like the two previous clubs which perform community service, the National Honor Society is full of caring individuals who do what they can for the people around them.
During November this month, the past 2 weeks, we've been collecting canned donations or snacks to help with the food pantry. And then in the winter, we usually have a Christmas gift donation. We did a lot of things to give back to the community. It allowed me to donate, like help others in need. I think it's just a really cool opportunity. I've never had the experience to give back or donate to others, and this allowed me the chance to do that.
During the holidays, many people come together to help those who are struggling, and their hard work can make someone's day all the more brighter. With all of these opportunities, be sure to get involved and make a positive difference in the community. This is Sophie Peterson for Husky Headlines.
Lily shares what she learned about the Sikh religion in this month's edition of Husky Worldwide.
In this edition of Husky Worldwide, we will take a look at how Sikh students explore their culture.
Sikhism basically means a student, a learner, and it's learning the teachings of importance of religion and how we can play that into our lives. And all the gurus that we have are to show that each of them gives a different teaching.
So this is kind of very new religion which is found in 1469 when our first guru born, and we believe in equality and one God. We believe boys and girls does not has any difference with gender or wealth.
In our culture, we have three main principles like Krit Karo, Naam Japo, and Vand Chako, which is like you do whatever you earn, you should give some part of your earning to others, help them. So you should be socially active so that others can also grow along with you. And then Naam Japo is like you should pray every time, so which gives some sense of peace in my daily life.
Like most cultures, the Sikhs have multiple celebrations.
We celebrated our first guru's birthday. So usually on those days, we want to encourage our students, connect the new generation to our religion, because our holy book is written in the Gurmukhi, and that is the language here. It's not taught by in any school or so. I mean, because here it's like this is a kind of second language. Even some people won't speak that language at home. So that's how we are trying to connect with our culture, so the students can connect with our religion.
With celebrations come a variety of meals that feature foods from the countries that are a part of this unique culture.
There's sweet dishes. A lot of people know like some of them, but one of our main religious dishes that is served every Sunday when you do this is Kada Prasad, and it was started by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, which is basically sometimes made with wheat, suji, but it's made with spiritual ghee, which is like butter. And once it's mixed together, the preachings go into it, and then it's served to everyone.
There are a lot of great Indian foods we cook at our gurdwaras, in our worship centers. We serve free meals, which is one of our beliefs, which has started from our first guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and we believe in serving free foods during our community services, and everybody can come in and eat those free foods. Like in our homes also, we prepare some great night food.
Not only is this culture trying to expand, but it also wants to highlight the importance of the people and the food. This is Lily Mesmer for Husky Headline.
The temperatures have dropped and so have the leaves. Winter is definitely on its way.
We turn to Ellie as she tells us about how this change affects some people.
As the holiday season approaches, the focus shifts to celebrations, family gatherings, and festive cheer.
However, for many individuals, this time of year can also bring increased amounts of anxiety, stress, and feelings of loneliness. It is important to recognize the struggles that some go through during these times.
So seasonal affective disorder is kind of what it sounds like. With the seasons that change, the weather, our bodies kind of change along with it, our emotions, our mental health, and for different people, it can be really hard, the seasons that change. So heading into the holidays, that can really affect someone's day-to-day.
We see it more in the wintertime because there are more interruptions in the winter, breaks from school. It can disrupt people's routine. That sunlight is a big part of it. We are seeing the sunset at, 5 o'clock. And so it can make people very drowsy. And because of that, like the melatonin in people's brains isn't as active. And so, people are, like, oh, well, I'm just kind of not feeling well and not feeling my best when we don't have that sunlight and, our circadian rhythm kind of gets messed up.
On the outside, it may not be easy to tell if someone is struggling, but there are signs.
I think with seasonal change or when the holidays come, I think it can be really isolating. I don't have what everyone else has kind of thing. So almost like this, I wish I had what they had.
Being willing to be there as a support and being a constant is a really big part of that. Relationships is like one of the biggest contributors to people's happiness over time. And we know that it leads to huge boosts of serotonin in our brain and building those connections of being together.
There are many ways to solve this problem.
Again, like having a break is great because we're like, oh, I'm going to have some time to myself. I'm going to reset. I'm going to, be able to relax and just do what I need to do. And really what ends up happening is we tend to be much more busy around those times. It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? But if you're not feeling joyful, that pressure can really build and can create that isolation. It can really cause some issues with like family and like the relationships that we have in our lives.
It's important, as just a Husky community to remember that, we all come from different backgrounds. We all have different things going on. I think we don't know everyone's story. We don't know how the holidays might be challenging for someone. So I just really encourage everyone to be kind and be inclusive. We have a student service team that wants to help, reach out to friends. I encourage individuals to seek that help out.
Don't forget, everyone has their own struggles. Social media doesn't tell the full truth and you're never alone, especially during the holiday season. It may feel like there is no one to go to, but reach out if you need help. This is Ellie Votipka for Husky Headlines.
Hey Jack, I heard you had an interesting experience recently.
I did. Me and Rylan hung out in this edition of H2 Versus.
With the fall season coming to an end, we decided to head to the pond and have H2 staff member Jack Kalman go up against sophomore Fletcher Lieberman. This is H2 Versus Fishing Club.
2019 to 2020 was kind of the last year that we had Fishing Club. We had a really dedicated group of seniors that did a really good job with hosting meetings and planning outings and stuff like that. This year though, sophomore Fletcher Lieberman and sophomore Phineas Nagy really took on that responsibility. They came to me back in August and they asked about Fishing Club. I told them I would sponsor it, but they had to be responsible for organizing the meetings, organizing the fishing outings and stuff like that. Fletcher leads the meeting every Tuesday, and I think Phineas helps out with logistics and group me and stuff like that. So we're back in action this school year.
I've always loved fishing, and I wanted to share my love of fishing, and I know some people wanted to too, and I love teaching people, so I just wanted to share my love of fishing and my skills to other people.
Although Kalman didn't have much previous experience, he went out there and shocked us all with his success.
Not much. I know how to cast a rod out, but I don't know how all the fish do the fishing. It was fun to just go and hang out, and it was pretty just common to just sit there by the shore, but it's just a little bit too much waiting around for me. Maybe when the fish are biting more in the summer and the spring, I might go, but definitely not in the colder months.
I think he's definitely getting there. He did catch more fish than me, funny enough. He did also get a couple knots that I had to fix, but he did pretty good. He did better than I thought he would.
It took me 2.5 hours to catch one fish. Also, I got the line stuck in the tree. Well, we were there for about 2 hours fishing at random spots, but once we moved to the new spot, it took about 5 minutes after casting out. Well, I beat Fletcher Lieberman 1-0, so I think I did amazing. I told him he was fishing with a different thing, and I told him he was move the bobber farther up, so his winter says fishing farther down, and then we casted it out, and then I got the fish. I won H2 Versus.
While Kalman caught the only fish, we don't think he has a future as a fisherman.
Fishing for me is really more about connecting with myself and nature. It's not really more about catching fish, but being outside, having some alone time, and just enjoying my life.
The warm fishing season may be over until the spring, but if you are a die-hard fan, you could always try ice fishing. This is Rylan Jar for Husky Headlines.
Wow, Jack, you really blew that out of the water.
I did. We go to Ayush to tell us why our swim team is going to make a big splash this season.
For the first time in 5 years, the swim team at Northwest has increased its number of participants to an all-time high.
Interest during our meeting was because a lot of our guys have talked up the program quite a bit. Do have a few more like club swimmers coming in to join us this year. But I think more than anything, it's just like word of mouth from kids who are getting their friends to come out.
With over 30 kids showing up for tryouts, leadership is very important for the seniors on the team this year.
So far, it's going pretty good, I think. There are a lot of freshmen that I see have a lot of potential to develop into much better swimmers. So far, I've been making a real effort to cheer people on and give advice if I can, as well as turn the kids into coachable kids.
Team seniors usually only talk to the freshmen in a leadership way, but now that the freshmen are a bigger part of the swim team, it's definitely going to be a bigger role. Just got to look forward to it and see what happens.
Along with the senior leaders, a member of the coaching staff is returning after 3 years to help out with the larger team.
So I was pretty lucky that I moved back to Iowa for a couple years, and I just got back this year, and Richards and Farrington were able to kind of get me a job since there were so many people coming out for swim this year.
Another reason CPRDA came back is because recent sporting events encouraged even more students to come to tryouts.
She's back this year because since the Olympics just happened, that's usually when a lot of new swimmers decide that they want to try the sport.
I really like her, and she's really good at making people that are new to swimming comfortable with the strokes and able to swim fast.
The team will face some challenges with the larger group.
Anytime we have a lot of an influx of kids in our program, it's great, but we do need to keep it pretty safe for the kids that are in the water too. Also, if we get over, 8 people per lane, it ends up making it pretty difficult to train.
The senior leaders look forward to the future of Husky Swim.
Just more students means that we get more coverage over the student body. More people know about the program and the excellent team that we have here.
We'll have a lot more potential to place higher at EKL as well as state, and it's also looking really good for the future of the team because we can develop a lot of these younger guys into better swimmers.
The swim team opened their season on the 10th with a win against Blue Valley Southwest. With many promising new swimmers, the team has have another great year. Go out and support the swim team on their next meet at home on January 10th. This is Ayush Tiwari for Husky Headlines.
Swim isn't the only sports team that's been working hard this month.
Let's head over to Game Day Gordo for an update on this month's sports.
As my memory rests, but never forgets what I lost, wake me up when September ends.
Absolute chills. What's up, Huskies? Welcome to this month's edition of HSN. I am Game Day Gordo with our brand new light box. Jack Frost is nipping and nets are ripping, and that means it's officially winter sports season. Let's get right into it. We're going to head to the mats to start off our report today, as boys wrestling started their season with a tournament at Spring Hill. They finished 6th overall and will head to Blue Valley for more tournament action this weekend. The ladies also opened up their season at Spring Hill, with senior Divya Subramoni placing 2nd overall in her weight class. Their next action will be January the 10th. Girls basketball team is coming off of a promising season that ended in heartbreak with a sub-state loss at Blue Valley North. After losing a group of key seniors, I talked to Coach Cheadle in this month's edition of HSN One-on-One. So looking ahead to the basketball season, what do you have circled on the calendar? What are some things you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to every game this season.
our games are pretty loaded as far as competitor-wise. We come out the gate, first game of the season against Washburn Rural. As of now, they're number 3 in the state. And then our second game is against Olathe North, which is a number 7 team in the state. So a lot of competition, just looking forward to seeing our girls go out and compete every night, and then to have fun with each other.
Losing a lot of seniors this year and a lot of size as well. How are you combating that so far?
Like I said, I keep saying competing, and that's just what we're pushing our girls to do. No, we don't have a lot of size, but they're going to play with a lot of heart. So I'm really excited to see them go out there and just play with toughness and play with grit.
Tactically, what are we looking at offensively?
We've talked about our size difference compared to last year. While we're still running a lot of similar offenses that we did last year, we have had to move towards playing a little bit more 5-out offense with just our size that we have currently.
And then lastly, would you say it is required for a pair of identical twins to be on the team, or is that just a coincidence?
I think it's just a coincidence, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm a twin myself, so.
Really? I did not know that. Yeah. All right, well, that'll be all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Following their loss against Olathe North, the girls will play at Shawnee Mission North tonight. On to our unified bowling team. They bowled at regionals for a spot at state on November 12th, but finished just a couple points out of a state appearance. Congrats on an outstanding season. I'd also like to shout out our cheer and dance teams, as cheer finished 2nd at state via a final round tiebreaker, and dance finished 8th in the preliminary round. In other news, Student Section Report, who we covered last show, recently ranked the Dog Pound as the #1 student section in all of Kansas. Great job to our students, and be sure to keep showing out for our winter sports. Lastly, to boys basketball, as they opened up their season out west with the Hayes City Shootout, knocking off Life Prep, Sunrise Christian, and Hayes on their way to the championship. This is Game Day Gordo for HSN, and remember to stay sporty, Northwest. Now over to Manjot, who tells us more about the boys basketball team.
With winter sports starting up, the varsity boys basketball team prepares for a challenging season.
My expectations for the basketball season as a whole is to teach the game of basketball, to get our group of guys to work together the best that they can, and to reach whatever it is the potential of the collective group is. I stack our schedule. This might be the most difficult schedule I've ever scheduled for a team. We have 20 regular season games, and then it actually moves to 23 next year, so we're excited about that.
With the lack of size inside, the Huskies will look to change their strategy on the offensive end of the court.
This year we're running 5-out motion, sometimes 4-out one end. Last year it was more have a big end, try to get feet in the ball, but I think we'll be able to play more guards, and that's how we'll succeed this year.
While the offense is going to change, the defense will stay the same.
Man on man, and we got to guard our yard and make sure our person doesn't score, really just man. We're going to speed teams up with how fast we are without having any bigs, but really just guard our yards. It's been the same for the past years. Coach Time doesn't really change our defense at all.
The returning players say they want to improve on last year's finish.
This season, just trying to get back to the state championship. Ended tough last year, trying to get back there. We all know what it feels like and want to end up on top. But as a team, the goal is always state championship, get back to where we were last year, and obviously win the EKL, which I think we're definitely capable of doing.
Last year was very frustrating losing the quarterfinals because, we missed so many free throws and just our shooting. So I think our biggest motivator is just being able to knock down shots.
Early on, players believe things are going well in the gym.
We're looking good. I think we're going to be a really good shooting team because, we spent a whole 2 months during football season and just having everybody shoot in the mornings and stuff. So it'll be a really good shooting team, and I think we're gonna be able to play fast, and everybody can defend really well. So it's looking good. Everyone's just gotta buy in on what we're doing. And
despite their small stature, the Huskies look poised for a big year as they shoot to get back to Wichita once again. Catch the guys in action in the showcase this weekend at Shawnee Mission Northwest. This is Manjot Singh Lamba for Husky Headlines.
Let's head over to Sama to tell us about our talented musicians at Northwest.
Every year, BVNW Performing Arts students audition for district-level groups and eventually for state. This year, BVNW took over districts with 54 students in choir, 23 in band, and 36 in orchestra.
All Districts is a music convention for choir, orchestra, and band. They're all separate, so you can't do like both at the same time. Or it's basically the top however many musicians in the ECKMEA district, which is East Central Kansas Music Educator Association, and they get together on a Saturday in December where all of the district ensembles will get together. They will rehearse basically the entire day and then have a concert at the end of the day.
So judging is based on a rubric. It's a 9-point scale in each category, but they're listening to kids' intonation. That's if the notes are in tune, their rhythm, their tempo, what is the pulse like? Are they steady? Does the piece sound like the piece? And the one that gets a lot of kids is musicianship. It's more about, does it sound like the piece that they're playing, that I'm inside of the professional orchestra listening at the moment that they're playing, and that's a sliding scale as well.
Teachers and students both give each other credit when it comes to why the musicians at Northwest have found so much success.
I think we end up getting a lot of the spots in district just because we've got really good music educators here. Like, we're really lucky to have like Mr. Tysick, Mr. Strain, Mr. Arbucci, Miss Ritchie. They do like a really good job. Everyone really appreciates how they teach and is able to absorb them. They know what they're doing.
In all three areas, we have well over 100 students, which is incredible, and I don't believe another Blue Valley school has that many students in. I think it's the motivating factors within the students that's why we have so many students involved. It's the fact that they encourage each other to participate and audition and support each other. They're practicing outside in the weeks leading up to the audition, and that's why I think we have so many people in. I'm just so proud of all the students that auditioned and those that made it. Really, really congratulations. And we're just so proud here at Northwest.
The talented musicians at Northwest appreciate the experiences they get through districts and look forward to state this February. This is Sama Salem for Husky Headlines.
Our school has some amazing singers.
We do, and I got to see them up close and personal last week at a unique setting.
Be our guest, be our guest, put our service to the test.
Singing and dancing filled the foundry at the Church of the Resurrection last week as choirs of Northwest performed in front of a sold-out crowd at the second annual Broadway Diner concert.
The Broadway Diner started last year. The year before that, we had gone to New York City and we ate at Ellen's Stardust Diner. And if you've ever been, all of the waiters and waitresses at Ellen's Stardust Diner are like aspiring Broadway actors and actresses, and they are your waiters. And as we left, we're like, oh my gosh, we already do a Broadway concert in December. Wouldn't it be fun if we actually did a diner? The choir parents and I kind of dreamed about it and put it together, and last year was a huge hit. The diner sold out in 24 hours, and this year we have moved over to the Foundry Hall at Church of the Resurrection where we can seat a lot more people and hopefully a lot more people can attend.
The Broadway Diner provides a different avenue for these talented performers.
I think the pros of the Broadway Diner is you get to show your solo strength. You're getting access to creative strengths and stuff, and embracing the character and the emotions that you want to portray.
A show like this means choir members have a variety of challenges.
And it's a different style of singing versus choir singing, first of all, but it's also just the element of performance that is different.
You have to audition in front of Miss Ritchie. You have to make sure that you present yourself just as you would in front of the audience. Make yourself entertaining, really make it theatrical in some sense.
Besides the musical challenges the students face, one of the standout features of the concert is the food service element.
It's a lot more complicated than a regular concert. We had to learn how to serve and sing and dance all at the same time.
You're doing a bunch of different things that you don't sign up for choir for, like presenting food and being a waiter.
Despite the hardships, the students involved still love the experience.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's such an amazing experience, and it gives you so much talent and skill, and it's the best.
The Broadway Diner is a great experience for both audience members and performers alike. Make sure to snag a ticket to next year's diner. This is Jack Cowman for Husky Headlines.
That's it for this month's edition of Husky Headlines.
Have a great day, Northwest.